Hello. I'm sick. But I came to the park because it's so nice out. And there hasn't been any sun in New York for like forever. And I was starting to be like, oh my god, am I becoming a depressed person again? What is this? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I wasn't doing anything wrong. There's just no sunshine. But I'm still sick. So I might as well enjoy something. I didn't go to school because I was so fucked up. But I came to get some bucha. Hashtag white girl activities. I wanted to talk about integrity. Because I feel like nowadays, or I don't know about nowadays, maybe it's been forever, but like, I've been noticing that a lot of people just lack it. They just don't have it. And it's not necessarily that they're bad people. But, okay, well, what is integrity, right? I think it's a moral soundness, like having a set of values that you follow and morality that you stick to that doesn't kind of, I guess your morality can shift once you know better, but if you're going back and forth and like your moral compass is kind of gray and you don't even really know where you stand, be it politically or interpersonally or whatever, you have to figure that shit out ASAP, you know, because otherwise you're hurting yourself and the people around you and maybe the planet because you don't know what you think or what you believe. You're just kind of floating, you know, and it's starting to piss me off. Well, I guess it's not really pissing me off because I understand it, but I'm observing it, that people are normalizing this and they think that morality can be so subjective because you can philosophize yourself out of it, pretty much. Like, we have so much access to so much information and nihilism and all these other things, and you can say morality is subjective to the point where you kind of murder your own soul. And yeah, like, does that even belong to you, or is that just what's easy for you? Is that just like what's easy? Because if you can fool yourself into believing that morality is subjective, which kind of it is. I mean, morality that's a bigger issue, you know what I mean? But if you don't have your own set of values and what you believe, and you don't stick to them, and you're made out of water instead of ground, I guess, you don't know who you are, pretty much. And then other people don't know how to be around you. And you're a harmer. I don't think you want to be a harmer, you know? So beyond a moral soundness and like having a group of values, whatever, it's also your thoughts and your words and your actions aligning. Because let's look at like all the people that say the right things and do the right things, but you know deep down those people don't actually give a fuck about what they're doing. Oh my god, my dog. You know, and you know that those people are doing it without integrity, because those people are doing those quote unquote good things, which they should still do. Like, I don't care what your reasons are, really, because you should always be doing that good stuff. But you know, you can see right through them. You know those people that like do things and you're like, well, you're actually just doing that for your ego. You're actually just doing that because it makes you feel good about yourself. And I think we all do that to a certain degree. But there are some people that solely do it because, oh, this is going to make other people think this thing about me. Or this is going to make me feel good about myself, instead of, I want to do this because I believe in it. I want to do this because it's the right thing to do. And sometimes you have to do the right thing and it makes you feel like shit. You know, those are the people that do the good thing when it's easy, and then the second it gets hard, they go and they do the bad thing because the bad thing makes them feel better. This isn't a rant about anybody in particular, but it's just something I've been thinking about. I guess it is about people in particular in my life. That was a lie. I think it exasperates me. And it's not because I want to say, like, I'm better than these people. Or maybe I do think that. Because I feel myself being, sometimes putting myself through things that, because I believe in certain things and I see other people take the easy route, and it makes me livid. And maybe I shouldn't be livid because it's their life, and I guess at the end of the day they should be able to do whatever they want to do, you know, but maybe I'm coming to like a realization of some sort. I don't know what it is yet. But the point is, maybe what I'm saying is I want to surround myself with people who have that. I want to surround myself. I'm gonna get run over. I want to surround myself with people who not necessarily think the way that I do all the time or have the exact same set of values, but who believe in something and that something is good and they take action for it and they live with compassion and honesty and truth and maybe just honesty, bro. I want to surround myself with people who aren't lying to the world to pretend that they're good people, or alternatively who have weak values, or values depending on a trend, or values depending on society instead of something that they actually believe in. And here's the thing about that, right? Because I don't always necessarily surround myself with like-minded people. There's a lot of people that I profoundly disagree with that are still in my friend group because I know exactly who they are. You know what I mean, dog? Like, I know who they are. Like, they're not, because I know they're telling me the truth at the end of the day. Like, they piss me off. We have arguments. We get, like, political, or we get, but they're being honest and they're integral to who they are. So I don't have to spend time trying to figure them out. And I'm always trying to figure everybody out. Even if I don't know you very well, I need to know, are you somebody that's telling me the truth, or are you fucking lying? Or are you pretending to be something? Maybe because you want to be that thing, but maybe you're not the thing. I don't know why I'm getting mad. I'm talking about this because I'm writing a play about it. And it's a theme. It's been a theme in my life where people that I've had extremely strong connections with, be it like friendships or family relationships or romantic relationships, whatever, I'll think very highly of them because of what they say and what they do. Because before I really get to know who they are as people, what they say and what they do, maybe sometimes they say the right things or they do the right things, like maybe they volunteer, or maybe they seem very communicative at times, or they ask you how you're doing. Hi, good morning. And yeah, you know what I mean? And then you get to know them, and then you realize, oh my God, you did that shit for you. And that's been a really big theme for me right now, because I'm getting into like this whole spiritual realm, and there's so much stuff online about self-love and how to be happy and all these things, right? And they're so centered around yourself, your little self, okay? As Toni Morrison would say, they're just thinking about their little selves all the time. And at some point it gets to the point where, like, if you're like in the spiritual realm or whatever of the internet, there's a lot of talk about compassion, you know, like there's a lot of talk about compassion in Buddhism and stuff, and that this isn't the fault of Buddhism, this is the fault of like people who distort Buddhism for it to be comfortable for them, right? And I'm not even a Buddhist, but I engage in this content, right? And so there's kind of a wave right now of people who do and engage in spiritual practices for their ego, or they have compassion, which isn't even real compassion, for their like weird spiritual ego. Does that make any sense at all? Like, so that they can say, I'm elevated, I'm better than, like, so that they can say, oh, I'm better than all these negative people because I'm spreading positivity, and that's my way of having compassion, right? Whereas sometimes, if you have real compassion, you would understand that sometimes you need to allow people to be negative until they get it out. Or sometimes you need to put your peace on the line for other people. And this is, oh my God, this is going to be so controversial in that realm. I already know it, because like protect your peace is so important to everybody, you know what I mean? But community is uncomfortable, and that's just the fact of life, you know? And sometimes you got to put yourself through that discomfort in order to grow a connection. Sometimes you need to have a difficult conversation. Sometimes you need to tell people things that they don't want to hear. Sometimes you need to let somebody cry and have a panic attack in front of you when you were planning on going for a swim that day. Because you care about that person. Because your set of values says, how would I want to be treated if I were to feel this way? And then you go and you say, well, I wouldn't feel this way because I'm elevated and they should be elevated too. They should get on my fucking level. You live in the real world, bro. I need to get off of Instagram. These people are pissing me off. I don't know if this is a rant or like an epiphany I'm having. I think this is something I'm figuring out. And by no means is me saying, this is the way anybody should think, or I figured this thing out, check it out. I think I'm figuring it out loud right now, and I think it's an important and interesting conversation to have, especially if you're somebody that engages in this part of the internet, right? Of like the self-help, spiritual, love yourself worlds. And obviously you should love yourself. I'm not saying don't love yourself, but there are other important things, I guess, beyond just that. Like ultimately it comes down to that, but not only that. It comes down to many things. And that's, oh my God, that's a different rant. But that also comes down to like capitalism and simplistic thinking, right? Where we think that something, or the answer to a thing can only be one answer. That if it's not one thing, if it's one thing, it can't be the other thing. But actually it can be multiple things at once, right? You can go find happiness and realize that ultimately it was about this thing and that thing and that thing and that thing all together, instead of the one thing that it all comes down to is this thing, right? Because I could say, oh, the meaning of life, whatever, the thing that it always comes down to is love, right? But then on a different day, I could tell you, well, actually, I figured it out better, and the meaning of life, the thing that it all comes down to is authenticity. And then the next day, I could say, actually, you know, I figured it out even better. The thing that it all comes down to is compassion. And then I could just keep going, because all those words are valuable, and they all come down to the thing, right? Like, there's a bunch of, oh my God, that's a dead bird. I don't know. IDK. Yeah, I think this is a conversation opener. Let me know what you think. I need to know what you think. I want to know if you disagree or you agree, or if you have something to add. And I think this is a part one of a bigger conversation. Thank you for listening.